everyone, I'm Jess and this is Talkback Time Events. Talkback Time Events is a series of videos where I've asked time event athletes all across Australia to do short videos on questions I've asked them either on their event, training their horses or the equipment they use. This first video is a little bit about ropes and bits. We've got Queensland breakaway roper Jane Ryan and three-time Australian champion team roper Brendan Kenny. Now these ropers are supported by some amazing sponsors and they talk a little bit about them in the video, so be sure to look them up. Now don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jane Ryan, a breakaway roper from Queensland. Talkback Timed Events asked me to make a quick little video about the type of rope that I use and why I love it so much. When it comes to breakaway ropes, I feel like it all comes down to personal preference. Everybody seems to like something just a little bit different to the next person, and that's completely okay. You just need to find out what you like and what suits your style. For me, it's a Rattler Viper in a size 9, so it's a 5-strand rope with a core in the middle. Because it's a 5-strand, it's going to feel a little bit smoother in your hand texture-wise than say a 3-strand or 4-strand rope. This is something that I quite like the feel of. I find that they're really snappy and really fast, and that I can be pinpoint accurate with them every single time. However, my favourite thing about the Rattler Viper is their weight for size ratio. So I can get away with using a smaller size diameter rope being a 9 because I feel like that's easier in my little hands to control and handle without compromising the tip weight or body in my swing. The other thing that I think is important when it comes to ropes is that we practice perfectly. So make sure that you're practicing with the same sort of rope that you would rope with on the weekends. So you're making good muscle memory and good habits. All of my tack, my ropes, and everything horse related comes from Ropes and Tack SA in South Australia. You can look them up on Facebook or Instagram, Ropes and Tack SA. Thank you for watching. Happy roping.
G'day, I'm Brendan Kenny. I'm a 3-time Australian champion team roper. We're here today at Indian Wells in Claremont. I had a message from Josh and Jess Green just regarding maybe to do with the COVID, just some of the better guys or some different guys just to give some tips on different parts of the products I use, I suppose. It's Monday here today, so Monday is generally a day off for us, so there's no horses about or the steers are having a break today, so I just thought I'd go about what I have in my tack room and maybe my ropes in particular. For anyone out there that's, for years and years, ropes played a major negative mental part of my roping because they never generally felt good, or you lose your confidence in them, or you miss, or just different things that sort of start to play on your mind. But one thing I can say is, nowadays I don't get ropes for free. I don't really care what I use, but one thing that I look for in a rope is that it stays when it hangs. I mean, I use generally a loop about that size when I'm heeling before I feed my rope, and I look for a rope that's got a good body weight. I don't like a rope that's got a lot of, you swing a rope and they feel like they're real heavy in the tip. I don't like a rope like that. For the simple reason is I don't think they last very good, and after you do use them for a few steers, that's all you've got is tip weight, and it's hard to get that, when you're heeling especially, to keep that top strand standing up. It feels like it loses its goodness, and I like a rope that stays nice and open, and it just gives me a truer feel, I guess. And yeah, that's the main thing I kind of look for when I swing a rope. When I haven't used a rope before, and that's about it for the rope. But I'm lucky enough to have 2 major sponsors. Diamond Saddle Pads has been a good supporter of mine for a good amount of years now, and that's all I use on my horses. And you've only got to feel them, and you've only got to, when your saddle sits on them, when you saddle them up, just they look right. And we've got a couple of show pads stuck back there, but these pads here they're a roper's best friend, I believe. And yeah, I couldn't see myself using anything else. The other major sponsor I've got is Gidgee Skidgy Eyewear and Jill and Craig. They've been great supporters of mine, and I thank them for sticking with me. And yeah, I need all the help I can get to look good, that's for sure. So, but maybe just another thing is some of the bridles that we're riding at the moment. We ride this port chain bit on one of the head horses. It's got a good amount of bite. I mean, it's not really about the bite. It's more about just having that control, just, you know, being able to gauge, or not being a fight. It's just being able to gauge your horse. So, and that bridle there seems to have a good amount of feel. And well, that's about 1.5 inch port bit. This is a bridle. I think it's got a little bit of magic in it. This bridle. This is a bridle I ride on a good heel horse. And I've just stepped another little heel horse up into this bridle. Just seems to have the right amount of bite. You can see in the shank here, so you've got that good amount of leverage, so you know you're not pulling and getting everything back up. You can more just roll your hand down and just gauge as you need it. You know, just being able to gauge coming around that corner and helping them horses in the end. Like, I mean, when you do come to your delivery, like, you've been able to roll that hand down and keep that hand low is helping them really get in the ground and finish your run off. So that's I mean, bridles really interest me. There's a wall full of bits in there, and you know, sometimes we swap them around and try different bits on different horses, but once I find something that fits pretty good and the horse likes and he feels good in, generally I keep him going with it. This is a little bridle that's been with me for a fair few years now. It's a pretty basic bridle. It's got lots of movement in it. I kind of like to start her. I mean, I've got a 3-year-old I'm heeling on at the moment. I've got a little 2-year-old mare as well. We're heeling on her, and we kind of step them. That may be like the first bridle I step them into. It's just got the right amount. Everything feels pretty comfortable in it. Yeah, it's not savage. There's plenty of movement. You can pick them up either side, you know. So it's just another chain bit. We use one very similar to that on another head horse we have here. And this Hackamore here, this generally doesn't come with me that much these days, but we did put it on a horse the other day, and just seen a big difference in him, the way he got out of his mouth and he chilled out, and so that's just another option, you know, if you just can't get that bridle that suits some horses, and you know, that might be something to try. Yeah, they're definitely, when they're set up right, they're definitely you know, worth their weight in gold. But maybe just another thing, touching on those ropes, was you know, this rope's had a few more steers right with it, and you know, as you can see, the loops, you know, not too bad, but majority of my dallying happens on that first and in between that second coil, and you know, it's a lot of wasted rope there when you know, because a lot of the times ropes get finished with me just because of that, and it's I mean, you lose your grip, like that's getting full of rubber now, but it's a safety thing too, you know, once those coils start to get a little bit worn out, it's never really been worth it for me to start pinching my fingers and that. I do it enough as it is, let alone, you know. So, you know, in the scheme of things, ropes are cheap. Look after them. You know, I see a lot of kids dragging ropes around and finishing roping a steer, and they drag their rope all the way to the end of the arena and don't pick it up. Like, you know, one guy in particular that's been here riding with me, I'm like, take care of that rope, you know, like ride to your loop on the ground and coil it up as you go and look after it, and you'll just find that they will last longer if you feed them right and keep them good, and you know, finding that good consistent loop and setup and coil.